Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vladyslav Zhmailo. I'm Policy and Guarantee Coordinator at iFarm Organics International, and I'm very, very excited to be here. I'm not only excited because it's my first time in Taiwan. I'm not only excited because I'm probably the only one representative from Ukraine here, but I'm also very excited because the presentations that I will show to you is very related to the situation that I have experienced when I started my journey in organic agriculture. Back in 2008, I decided to become an organic entrepreneur in Ukraine. So we started our business processing organic sunflower seeds, organic walnuts, organic linseeds into organic oil. And it was very difficult, I need to admit. It was very difficult not only because the market back then in 2008 was absent. People didn't know what was organic agriculture in my country. It was also challenging because it was 2008, a financial crisis. But I need to admit that the biggest challenge was that there was no support, no governmental support that was provided to organic entrepreneurs like it was me. Doesn't work? Okay. Okay, let's start. According to the latest statistics that IFAD recently provided, there are around 1.2 billion of people on our planet between the ages of 15 and 24, and half of this number is living in rural areas. The fastest growing rates of youth population are in the least developed countries. If you add to these statistics other age groups who have enough energy and health to work in agriculture in rural areas, the statistic will not be so bad. So you would ask me, what is the problem? And the problem is here. So the average age of a farmer or a household head engaged in farming activities is 62 years in Taiwan, 51 years in India, 50 years in China, and 49 years in Africa. If we continue like this, if we maintain the status quo, not only sustainable transition of our food systems is threatened, but also the overall food security is threatened. It's a big problem for our planet. But if you check our website, each year we make a I Grow Your Food campaign. By the way, it will happen tomorrow. This campaign is targeting organic farmers and help to multiply their voices and to show how they produce our organic food. And there are a lot of good examples of organic youth on our website. So for instance, Karina Gonzalez-David, she is not only organic farmer, but also a feminist activist. Also, young Gambians are using training to advance organic agriculture in their communities. And there are many others who will show their videos tomorrow on social media. So what should we do to have more of these examples? For some countries like Philippines or Taiwan, I will not show today a rocket science. You have already a wonderful mix of organic policies that also promote organic entrepreneurship in your countries. But some countries are missing very simple tool for organic entrepreneurs to advocate for, and very simple tool for for governments, for ministries of agriculture to implement. So my presentation will be today very simple. So Konrad took today a keynote speech role, and I will take the role of a trainer. So let's start. You cannot design a policy that supports organic use without having all of these components. So there should be, of course, general agricultural policy. There should be, of course, organic policies. And there, of course, should be a rural development policy. This mix will yield into youth in organic agriculture policies. So what are the general agricultural policies? If you look at any developing or developed countries in the world, so these are policies, for instance, like subsidies and financial price support, trade policies, research and development, education and extension, food and nutrition security program, support for marginalized group, and here we are, policies that target small scale, youth, women, indigenous farmers, and many other vulnerable groups. And of course, organic policies or other so-called sustainable agriculture policies. In ideal world, of course, there should be no distinction between conventional farming and organic farming. All policies should support organic farmers. Like for instance, in Indian state Sikkim, but we are not yet there, and of course, the normal mix looks like this. Anyway, there is no matter how much you invest in organic policies, there is no matter how much you invest in organic youth policies, if there are no rural development policies, you will fail. So youth will not stay in rural areas and will not produce food if there is no infrastructure, if there is no education and healthcare, if there is no proper natural resource management, if there is no market access and value chain promotion programs exist in rural areas. And of course, if there are no microfinance and financial service for citizens of rural areas. Now we go to organic policies. Back in 2019, IFOAM has developed a policy toolkit. Very simple toolkit for policymakers and organic advocates to use to implement action plans and strategies to boost the organic sector in their countries. To simplify it, we split it on 3 parts. These are push measures, pull measures, and general enabling measures. It is really, really important that government do not only support supply of organic products, but also support the demand of organic products. If we damage this equilibrium, we will have either oversupply or over-demand. So what are these policies? Push measures: support organic research and extension, improve organic education, increase availability of organic products. These measures increase technical capacity of farmers to convert. Then also measures organic area payments, tax breaks for organic operators, support to organic farm investment, agri-environmental subsidies, support to certification. Together with previous set of policies, these policies influence farmers' decision to convert. Also support to companies for organic processing, product development, marketing. My experience, when I was an entrepreneur in Ukraine, of course, we didn't have these policies, and it was very challenging. Also support to organic supply chain development projects. Sometimes they are donor supported, sometimes they are government supported. They influence farmers' decision to convert and also processing companies' decision to create new organic products. So these are supply side policies. What about pull measures? Of course, public procurement to public canteens, public procurement to school canteens, and so on. Then also promote organic in schools, common logo for organic products, organic consumer campaigns. But government may not only tap on internal demand, but also on external demand. For instance, support of export to other countries, and also organic trade agreements or equivalence agreements that are currently in the European Union and will be shifted to trade agreements. So these policies change the tap on consumers' decision to purchase organic products and also caterers' decision to serve organic products. Also, there are general enabling policies, like for instance, national data production and dissemination. Very important. Government should know how many farmers do they have at all, how many organic hectares do they have, and how to develop a policy that will target this amount of farmers and will bring them to the higher level. Support development of organic associations, support to NGOs like IFOAM Organics Asia or IFOAM Organics International or other local grassroots organizations that work in this field. Support to PGS development, also very important. Recognition of PGS development, of PGS as organic guarantee system is also very important on the state level. And of course, build organic expertise within the public sector. We are working a lot at IFOAM Organics International with different governments around the world. And it is very, very challenging to find sometimes a very experienced person in the Ministry of Agriculture with whom it is possible to maintain the dialogue and to design the policy. It is very important to have such person in the government. And what about youth? So if you think about all of this that I have presented, we can take piece by piece from each policy and create a great policy mix that will support policies that boost organic youth participation. So push measures, youth-centric organic agriculture education. We need to educate organic farmers. Without them, there will be, of course, no organic food. Financial empowerment for organic youth, microfinance, subsidies, tax breaks, and many others. Technological innovation hubs. Then mentorship networks that each young entrepreneur may have a mentor who will support his journey. Then seamless certification and market access. Of course, seamless certification seems very promising, especially in the European Union when you probably need to have a master's degree in organic regulation to understand it. But still, support with the certification is very important. Capacity building of farmers about the certification has a crucial importance because it's not the role of certification body to build the capacity of farmer. Then, of course, entrepreneurship accelerators for organic youth. There are, I have met today from India, for instance, business accelerators that are working with organic farmers, and they get the support from the state, and it is very important. What about the pull measures? Consumer awareness raising campaigns on organic youth. It is very important to show to consumers that where their food comes from. If it comes from organic youth, you need to highlight this. Then local and global market linkages. As I said in my previous slides, it is very important to support farmers to sell from rural areas to urban areas, but also to sell for exports. Rural tourism support, bringing tourists to rural organic entrepreneurs. Public procurement in school, also very important. Not only it raises the awareness of kids about organic agriculture, but it also helps organic entrepreneurs in rural, young organic entrepreneurs in rural area to sell their products. Also, organic agriculture awareness curricula at school. What are the mixed measures? Organic youth networking events. Very important. Not all of you realize, but basically this is a part of the policy of Taiwan. This networking event is supported by the state, and it is a great example that should be highlighted. So it helps us to build our connections and to either to sell our products or to bring expertise to organic youth and so on. Also, youth engagement in policy making. It is really important to bring the perspective of organic youth to the policy making process. Policies are usually boring, they are written in a very complex legal text, and this very much discourages youth to participate in this process. Policymakers should bring youth to the table. Then, of course, data collection and research on organic youth. To boost the support to organic youth, you need to understand their needs. What do they need? Where do they have challenges? Do they have challenges with certification? Bring them experts to help them certify. Do they have challenges with exports? Help them to export. Support to organic youth NGOs, also very important. There are a lot of good examples of organic youth NGOs, but they're struggling financially. They need to have a support. Also, of course, focal persons in Ministry of Agriculture. As I said, sometimes it's just challenging to have at least one focal person in the Ministry of Agriculture that is responsible for organic agriculture. But when there is already a department responsible for organic agriculture, it makes sense to have one designated person that will work with organic youth. And also public land management. There were already shown today examples when the public about a platform in Taiwan that shows available land, and it helps organic youth to get more land for their farming activities. But there are also examples around the world when, for instance, the public land is rented through the affirmative action towards organic youth only, because they might have more motivation to work with organic agriculture. It is easier to convince them to convert into organic agriculture than experienced old farmers. And of course, other policies that support rural development in general and rural youth inclusion in particular are also very important. Without rural development policies, there will be no youth in rural areas. So to sum up, The aging farmer population is a big threat. It's a big threat for our food systems. It's a big threat for our food security. Policymakers should work on attracting youth to organic agriculture to solve this problem. And only a mix of agricultural and rural policies that target organic youth may help to solve this problem. Thank you.